How's it going, everybody? My name is David and welcome to Everything Economics. So I've been investing personally in the stock market for about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, maybe like a year and 2 months, somewhere around there, okay? And so every single morning, I've made it a routine. I've made it a priority for me to look at my investments, which investments have gone up, which investments have gone down. And then I also like to keep up with the financial news so that I can also learn and build that knowledge over these years of investing, okay? So I like to look at Yahoo Finance, CNBC, The Motley Fool. Those are the three main platforms I like to use for my financial news. But recently, I think my dad sent me this video of Jen Psaki, press secretary of Joe Biden. Basically, she's like the spokesperson of Joe Biden. And she made these comments about like basic economics that I really want to comment on. But before I make my comments, let's roll the clip.
I want to ask you about what Republicans are pointing to in the analysis from the Joint Committee on Taxation. They say, according to, if I've read the chart correctly, more than 16% of taxpayers would see their taxes increase under the bill that's approved by the House Ways and Means Committee. Will the president sign that bill as it is coming out of that committee, or will he insist on the changes so that he will maintain his commitment that taxes won't go up on people making $400,000 a year?
I have not looked at the document or the report that you have put out. Obviously, the president, or that you have referenced, I should say, that the Republicans put out. Obviously, the president's commitment remains not raising taxes for anyone making less than $400,000 a year. There are some, and I'm not sure if this is the case in this report, who argue that in the past, companies have passed on these costs to consumers. I'm not sure if that's the argument being made in this report. We feel that that's unfair and absurd, and the American people would not stand for that. But I will take a closer look at this report and get you a more substantive response. Go ahead, Jackie.
So to summarize what Jen Psaki was saying was essentially is, hey, Congress, we're going to be spending a lot more money. But regular people, no need to worry about the cost of that spending, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to tax the rich. We're going to increase taxes on the evil rich. The evil rich and on businesses, okay? Those are the two main groups that are going to be affected. So common worker in the coal mine or working at the diner, no need to worry. But honestly, Jen Psaki has no idea what she's saying, bro. She doesn't even know basic economics. That is false. Yes, these people are going to be affected, right? But mostly who's going to be affected is consumers, okay? Because when we raise taxes, right? Let's do an example. When we raise taxes on McDonald's, right? Raise taxes. That just basically means less profits for McDonald's. More of that profit goes to Congress, goes to the government. So then who's affected by this less profit because of the more taxes? So there's three groups within a business or within a market, basically. There's shareholders, then there's workers, and then there's consumers. The big three. Shareholders, what they're going to be thinking is, hey, we're making less profit, we're making less money. How do we make that money back? So then they're thinking, hey, why don't we just schedule less hours on workers? Let's pay them less, things of that sort. But what's risky about this is that with workers, what if they go on strike? What if they become an organized union? Things of that sort, and then cost them even more money in the short term or in the long term. So that's risky. But mostly what happens is, hey, let's just go to the consumer. Hey, if we're being taxed 20% more, instead of our cheeseburger costing $1, right? A $1 cheeseburger, let's just make it a $1.20 cheeseburger, okay? Because most people, when they show up to McDonald's, whether on that receipt is $1 or $1.20, do people really care if their cheeseburger is worth 20% more than it was last week or the year before? Most people don't really notice this difference. So that's why it's so easy to pass it on to the consumers. And sometimes it's not even in price, right? So like Procter & Gamble, they sell things like toothpaste and like toilet paper and those things. And sometimes instead of changing the price of toilet paper, they will just put less rolls or like less toilet paper within those rolls. And they'll technically put 20% less or even sometimes more. So when businesses and shareholders are trying to save money, sometimes it's less product or sometimes they just charge even more. So for Jen Psaki to say that it's unfair and absurd that consumers aren't going to be affected by higher taxes, don't worry, it's only the rich and only the business owners that are going to be affected. That's ridiculous, bro. Like it just makes absolutely no sense. But of course, shareholders can be affected, workers can be affected, the rich and business owners can be affected. But most likely, in my opinion, and what I've seen in the past is, it's the consumer. And it's so easy to pass it on the consumer because, like cheeseburgers, people need to eat. And just adding 20% extra charge on that, people don't really notice that. So that's kind of the sly way of how they increase or keep their profits the same during when taxes are raised. So I hope you guys understood this video. I hope it was easy to follow. And I hope it was something that you guys were interested in. I hope you guys have a great day and peace.